All right, welcome to SEC Tournament Reaction with Chris Muller. Ole Miss, a 4-0 victor over Georgia. They advanced to face the loser of Vanderbilt and Arkansas, which, full disclosure, is about to have first pitch at any moment. How you doing, Chris?
Doing great, Steven. Obviously, a great day for the Rebs today. Like you said, 4-0 victory. Really strong outing from Drew McDaniel today. Bianco described him in postgame as super dominant. No reason not to agree with that thought. He went 6.2 innings, 11 strikeouts. Both were season high for the young man from Lafayette, Louisiana.
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest, it was Friday dominant. That's how good he was today, and should give you a great deal of confidence going into the regional.
Absolutely. I think that obviously Doug is Doug and the ace of the staff, and he's going to shove it whenever we decide to pitch him. But Derek's performance last night was really good. He deserved to get a win last night. Obviously, Vanderbilt is Vanderbilt, and they just came out and hit the ball in the ninth inning on us and spoiled the game for us a little bit. But today was absolutely dominant, and McDaniel obviously can hold his own in game three. If and once we get that far.
Um, let's see. Going through this game now, Kevin Graham got us started with a home run and just kind of nickled and dimed. The offense did just enough. But what did you see positive from the offensive side of the ball for us today?
Just put the ball in play. I mean, I think that's what we did a lot. And, you talked about the Graham home run. Kevin's a special player. I thought it was really a crime. In my article on the Rebel Walk, I talked about it being a crime that he was not given any postseason honors, and I'll stick to that statement until the day I die. Very special young man. He's got the the team lead in home runs at 14, and now has 52 RBIs, which also leads the team. And I just don't really understand why he wasn't chosen for postseason honors. But Jacob Gonzalez continues to hit the ball really well. Had a single in the third that scored John Rice Plumlee, who led off the inning with a double. That was pretty cool for John Rice. John Rice just so enjoys playing the game of baseball, in football as well, but baseball this right now for this season. When he gets on base, you can always see that smile on his face and the energy that he brings to the team, not just when he plays, but in the dugout, I think. And I've talked a little bit about the conversations that I've had with Cody Adcock at Texas A&M. And Cody is really a big fan of John Rice's, as I think everybody is. And just the energy that he brings to the team, I think, is really important from a team chemistry standpoint. And then Peyton Chatagnier continues to see the ball really well, which of late, which is really important to Ole Miss.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up Peyton Chatagnier. We were talked yesterday about him coming out. Today, 2 hits. He's hitting the ball hard. He's kind of getting back to what he was after his average dropped down by about 100 points. That's good to see.
Yeah, and I don't know that was any issue with an approach or anything else like that. It may have been a small timing issue with the fastball, is what Coach Bianco said in postgame. But I think he's gotten that timing back. It was never an issue of exit velocity off the bat. He was always hitting the ball really hard. He was just kind of hitting it where they were, and so now he's starting to hit it where they're not, which is obviously the key to baseball. A couple plays that I saw today that were of interest to me that really won't show up in any box score was the first one was the Justin Bench slide in the third inning. Bench kind of showed with the left and then went with the right. Ended up he started out on his belly and ended up on his back to beat the tag. When it was first seen on TV, the announcer's like, "Oh no, they're going to overrule that. He's definitely out." And then, they kept looking at the replay and they're like, "Wow, that's an amazing slide." Coach Bianco was asked about that post game. He said that's just an instinctual thing by a really really athletic player. So really, that was really cool to see. And then the other play that really impressed me was Elko going first to third in the fifth on the Chatagnier single. So to see Tim go 180 feet rather than just 90 feet. Really important. Obviously, it was a 3-2 count, and he was off a little bit on the pitch, but still, he had to make that turn at second, which I think is really important for him to gain the confidence that he's able to do that, the stability, and get to third. So those two guys seem to enjoy that between the two of them, as well as Mike Clement seemed to enjoy seeing Elko go first to third.
Yeah, and you noticed a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up, but nowhere near what you would expect to see, or somebody running on a torn ACL.
Yeah, this whole torn ACL thing and him coming back, I think it's really amazing. I don't think that I believe it was the 5th of April, if you could have polled the audience and said, okay, who thinks Tim Elko is going to come back and do anything, much less hit home runs and run bases, there may have been 5% of us, maybe at max 10% of us that would have said, yeah, he's going to do that. But, I mean, what are we at? 4 home runs now and, ability to run the bases now. Just really incredible. And obviously, if we get to the back of the game, we're going to see a substitute for Tim.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see, kind of frozen up at the moment. There he is. He's back with us. So, yeah, Tim Elko playing his way into a full-time designated hitter role, which was envisioned as a best-case scenario after the injury happened. Drew McDaniel having his best outing as an Ole Miss Rebel. He looked really Friday night worthy when he's kind of struggled a little bit coming in. Derek Diamond last night had a huge outing. The starting pitching looks there. I don't want to put the cart too much ahead of the horse, but I'm going to ask you this every day that we do this. How do you plan on setting up the rotation for the regional now?
I'm going to go with it depends right now. I want to see the bracket, and I want to see who the 4 is before I make that decision. Right now, if we're just looking at a blank bracket and Ole Miss is the 1 seed, I'm going to go Diamond first, and then I'm going to go Nikhazy on Saturday. Obviously, Coach Bianco has a significant amount of more wins than I do in the dugout, so I'm going to allow him to obviously make that decision. But in a blank bracket situation right now, that's what I would do.
Yeah, a little bit of bad luck for Ole Miss because Jackson State was either going to Starkville or Oxford as the 4 if they'd have won their tournament. But yet they managed to lose their first conference game in the conference championship game, and Southern University gets the bid.
Yeah, I saw that earlier in the week, so I don't think that team's going to, based on what Kendall Rogers said, I don't think they're heading to postseason, which is a shame for a team like that. But that's just the way that conference tournaments work, same way in basketball with our smaller conferences.
Now, this isn't necessarily a preview show, and we don't know at this point who we are going to play, but we know who is going to take the mound tomorrow. What do you think about the decision to start Tyler Myers as the 4th starter?
I mean, I like it. I think Tyler's a really quality pitcher. He has a little bit of an elevated ERA at 6.15. He's gone 26.1 innings, 29 strikeouts. His longest outing is 3 innings, so I expect the bullpen to play a significant role in tomorrow's game, one way or another.
And people should take solace going into the regional next weekend. This would be the situation where a Monday game was forced. This would be the extra game in a regional, and this is a nice little dress rehearsal for that.
Exactly, and I think that's the way you need to look at the SEC tournament, as it's just prep for the next round. And, quote, the real season starts next week.
Yeah, sure enough. It's a great game. Chris will be in tomorrow to preview whoever Ole Miss is playing. We have to wait until the moonlight hours to figure out what that is. But we have a bunch of content coming your way. We also have tomorrow morning, David Waters is going to give a Florida football preview. You can catch that. Obviously, the Palmcast. And I think we have scheduled for Monday a South Carolina preview. So we got a lot of stuff coming up on top of all the baseball stuff we are doing. For Chris, I'm Steve. And, of course, Hotty Toddy.
Hotty Toddy.